Okay, so now we are ready for part two. I created the first video last week and I've added a few more things. Naturally, it cut me off at my 15-minute mark, so I might touch base a little bit more on what you're going to find on the drive. But thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. And I have taken the time to make it, and I really appreciate you investing in your child and utilizing this resource. Okay, so again, I wanted to show you some more to do with the portal, so I'm going to log in on the portal as a student so you can see what that looks like. Since the last time that we have chatted in my first video, I have created another document in Google Drive. I'm not going to click on it. Oh, see here, you'll see that I have to log in as the student. So this might pop up for you as well. Make sure you're logging in as the student and you will get that information sent to you in Google Drive. But again, it's the same thing as your login for the portal, but it's at student.sanjuan.edu, and the password is the same thing as the portal. So if that pops up, you can solve that issue there. But I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, so when you look at the drive, it's going to show two different things right now. Number one is going to be the login information, and I'm not going to click on this because I don't want everyone to have the student's login information. But in there you will find logging in to the portal, the username and password, which I've already sent to you. You will also find a login for the library. You'll find an Google login, the one I just mentioned, and it has our important information that our Zoom meetings are going to be every Tuesday from 10:15 to 11:15. It has a meeting ID, which is different than the one we had before, and it also has a new password because of the because everybody's been using Zoom. They've put a couple of requirements on for us, and that includes a password. So our password is just going to be Davis, but again, you can click on that to get your students' login information. It's one place that it can all be saved at. And then the other thing I've already went over here with you was the distance learning. So I'm going to click on this one more time because I did add something that I wanted you to check out. Okay, so this is our distance learning. It has all of what you're supposed to do. Again, I'm not going to go over that with you again since I just did that in the other video, but I did add an extras section. So I'm going to go ahead and click this link, and it's going to take me to April Extras. So this is going to be in Google Classroom, and it's just a file. It has all the different extras that you can complete with your child. Now, again, this is a lot, but what I wanted to do is give you a cut and dry, this is what you have to do, which would be this stuff. Okay, and then these are the extra things. Now, if we were in school, these things are things that I might be doing with your child. If we were in school, these are things that I might have Miss Schrader doing with your child. So it just gives you a little bit of an extra things to do that aren't required. You might find that your child needs more practice in numbers and counting, so you're going to go down to the section that says number counting practice videos, and there's 3 different links you can click on for some number counting practice videos, and I will update this with more as we go. If you go down, look at there's alphabet practice songs, different ways you can practice the alphabet. There's a weather walk activity where it says take a walk and look for evidence of weather, take a picture, draw a picture, or write about it. It's not necessary, but if you do things like this, I love to see your photos. I love to see that the assignments that I'm creating, people are taking the time to do. So please share with me if you can or want to. There's a weather song video that I put in here. Also, there's a whole, if you have a printer at home, these are some of the printables I would use. Everything from this right here is a writing paper. Then there's different hundreds charts with missing numbers. There's games. There's just different things you can print out if you have a printer available. You can check those. But again, not necessary. Here's a whole section on Earth Day. I posted some links. Some of them are creating a snack that's inspired by Earth Day. Some of them are art projects. One of them is a book that you can print out. And then these are pretty cool. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the titles in here, but they're all different. They're kind of games and picture sorts for letters and sight words, and that way you can play with them. So all you have to do is click on the link. Now it might bring you to the Clever login, and I wrote that right here, but if you get to the Clever login, it's going to say login with Active Directory, and you're just going to click that button here. I'll show you real quick. It might already keep her logged in. Yep. See, it says log in with Active Directory. You're going to go ahead and click that. it's pretty cool because it keeps all of our information intertwined. And you can see this is going to pop up with a game. Benchmark tends to take a long time at this time of day when everybody's on it, but it will pop up with a game. Here we go. It's a balloon popping game where you pop the words that have the letter K, and it's pretty fun. I'm not going to play it for you right now, but I want to appreciate your time. I'm done showing you our little extras section. But again, I don't want you to come over here and say, okay, I have to do all of this. This is going to be something that you can do with your child when you find some extra time, or you find that they need a little extra practice in certain areas. These are the extras, okay? This is going to be our main focus. And it's going to get more in depth as we go. Now, this week is a trial week. Next week is when it really gets going. So I want you to make sure that you're testing the waters and letting me know how it goes. Again, I appreciate your feedback on any of this. Let me know the good, the bad, the ugly. Let me know if there's something, like I said, if there's something you want to see more of or something that's just too much. I also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention in the video, the math lessons. If you click on the math lessons and you go to here and you find that you have the worksheet, you will have a copy of this already printed out if you wanted to do it on paper. So what you would do, those math books that I sent home the Friday that we closed, those math books have this exact worksheet in it. So if you did not want to do it on the computer, you can pull up that math book, look for 11-1, and you will find worksheets that have to do with 11-1. So you do not have to, they're going to be the same one as on here. You do not necessarily have to do it on scratch paper. I forgot to mention that before, that most of you, not everybody, most of you were able to take home a book that Friday before school got out. So if you have that, that's awesome. You could use that book. Okay, I'm going to close this out. I want to go back over here. I'm going to close my drive out. I'm going to go back to the portal and show you a few more things that you might find interesting on here. There's email on here, so students can send me messages. I wanted to tell you that you might have some alerts in there that have come through from me adding things to Google Classroom and Google Drive. Don't worry about that. I'll send you an official email with the subject line, read me. I probably won't be sending as many to students unless they are writing to me. Okay. If you click on Google Classroom, it's going to take you to where our math is, our at April information is. Oh, look, there's all of my friends. Okay, so you have the Google Classroom. If you came just directly in here, you're going to click classwork, and it has all the topics on the side here. Again, it has the math for each day. It has the extra section, and it has the general section where you could find the reading. Okay, just wanted to review that quickly with you. Also in here, if you go to student, you can go to elementary, and there's something called iReady. And iReady is fun. I'm going to log us in with Clever. Again, you might be prompted to log in with Active Directory, but I've assigned some math things from throughout the school year. Some of it's review and practice, and some of it's going to be newer, but you have to start at the beginning. So it's going to start with review and practice. But you can come on here and click on it, and there's lessons.
Start lesson.
And they're games. So the kids will find this fun to play them on the Chromebook. Now, I'm not assigning a ton of iReady. Now, these assignments are not necessarily required, but I'm not one that's huge on screen time and having your child sit in front of a screen all day. That's all your decision. But this is something that if you wanted to do extra practice, on an iPad or on the Chromebook or whatnot, this is great practice, and it gives me a report of how much time is spent, how much learning time, and what lessons are complete. But again, I'm not assigning this at this point. At this point, it's just for extra practice if you wanted it. I wanted to show you it was available. Okay, in here there might be more that we can get to using. I haven't played around with all of the apps yet. Oh, one thing Miss Schrader did tell you about iReady was over here. She mentioned you can go to the Family Center and you can choose to get more tips on how to support your child, but I believe there's also printables Let me show you where it is. No, I'll go back and look for that. But there is a way that you can print things out for your child. Miss Schrader can help me figure that out again. But that way you could find some extra resources. Okay? And we will go ahead and wrap up this recording. I'll let you know if any more of these become available and what we can play around with. But for now, you have access, you know. This is going to take you to your books for April. We're going to go to Benchmark, scroll down to Benchmark. Again, I thank you for your patience. Even as I'm going through this video, I'm learning new things. It's important that we're kind of growing together. And again, like I said, we're going to take it slow. But as Benchmark is prompting to log in, you can go to the assignments here and you can find the April student reading that we talked about. So there's multiple ways to get to each section. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to play around with it this week to see if there's anything that you have questions about. I don't want this to be overwhelming. Again, this is our learning week. This is our week where we get to try everything out, see how long we're spending on each item, and figuring out what works for us. So I hope you all pick up your Chromebooks on Monday. More information will be coming out about that shortly, and that way you can be doing this work easily at home. I hope all of you are going to join me at our meeting on Tuesday. As many people as possible. If you have a conflict, please let me know. I can always play around. I have different times during the week where I'm going to be meeting with people individually in the future and maybe even in small groups. So I'll keep you posted on all of that. I miss the kids, and I hope to hear back from you if there's any questions. Talk to you soon.